money is the number one stressor.
So
And stress is the number one killer.
Ugh.
So you're stressed about money, and then it kills you. Hey, welcome to the Insurance Buzz. We are your hosts, Michael and Courtney Weaver. And today we're going to be sharing our Money Monday habit with you. And what this habit is all about is making sure that we are paying our future selves and that we have enough money to retire one day. Boom.
Let's get into
Who
it.
wants to work the rest of their life?
I don't.
And I sure as shit don't want to be a Walmart greeter in my 90s because I have to be. If I want to be because I'm a little social butterfly, that is one thing. But I don't want to have to be forced to work longer than I want to.
I am super excited to talk about this because early on in our relationship, I can remember going to multiple grocery stores. I can remember clipping coupons and fighting to get the lowest price on Cheerios. That was not that long ago. And to be where we're at right now feels really great, but it's not something that's just exclusive to us or to anyone who may have like money figured out. Like this is something that everyone can do. Yeah. And it really just takes some discipline and some action. And one of the phrases, oh God, this is burned into my brain, that you would say when we first started dating. And it was actually great because I had no concept of money. I was not educated. To me, it was like something that was foreign and hard to understand. And I didn't get it. And I would spend it as fast as I got it. And if I wanted something, I would go for it. And it would put me in really tough situations a lot. And in the beginning of our relationship, you would say, that is not part of our financial plan. I would have all of these things that I would want, a new outfit, or I'd want to go out to eat here, or I'd want to just ball out after I got paid. And he would say, that is not part of our financial plan every time that wanted to come up. And I'm so grateful for that now because I have a different level of respect for money. Like I understand it as a tool. It doesn't control me. I don't control it. Like we're in this relationship. And I think that money is very much like a relationship. I think of it like that. If you don't pay attention to it, it will not pay attention to you. If you do not treat it with respect, if you do not really have this, we're going to get along. We're going to be friends. We're going to work together. I'm going to pay attention to you. You're going to pay attention to me. That's really how the game changes. And so we're just going to break down what we do and the discipline that we have. And I want you to, when you're hearing this, the biggest thing is do not wait. Do not wait until you have more, until you reach a certain number.
The time is right.
Yeah. Do not wait to start investing in your future self.
Yeah.
Like everything that we go through, I want you to think about how can I take action on that right now? Even if it's a tiny dollar amount. What can I do right now that will pay my future self? That's the biggest thing that we're going to keep hitting home through this whole episode.
Yeah, to take action because it's so easy. We've been in your shoes. It is so easy to be focused so much on the day-to-day interactions with customers of helping them protect themselves against the future around, hey, if the house burns down, if I get into an accident, hey, what are you doing to plan for retirement? What does your investment strategy look like? That you forget about your own strategy. You forget to revisit your own plan. You forget to be putting money away so that you have the ability to retire one day. And I say that because I know it. Because I also was in the situation to where, sure, we were putting a little money away that we started as a team member, but we really never revisited that strategy or that plan until just a few years ago because we were in the trenches. We were so focused on making sure everybody else, our customers, were taken care of that we forgot to take care of ourselves. And so while we were still putting money away, we weren't putting the money away that we should have been or that we could have been. And to think about that amount of years that we lost that now we're making up for, like I don't want you to fall into that same situation. I don't want you to forget about yourself.
Mm-hmm. So let's dive into Money Mondays.
Money Mondays. This is actually something you created.
I did because I'm such a theme person. So how we run our business and how we run our life, I like to have certain days that are focused on certain things. So our business is set up the same way. On Mondays, we do a lot of podcasting. So every podcast that you hear, this one right now, is being recorded on a Monday. I like it on Mondays. On Tuesdays, we do a lot of training. We are coaching. Wednesdays, so on. So for me, it was just easier to create a theme. And I'm like, okay, I can latch on to this. So Money Mondays is the day that we invest and we look at all of our money because, again, money is like a relationship. If you pay attention to money, money will pay attention to you. So on Mondays, I have my date with money. I do it every single Monday. And I think the biggest part of this is the first piece that you have to get really comfortable with is pop the hood. You have to be okay with looking at it. So many times with money, we don't want to look at it. We're scared of what we are going to find. And I understand that feeling of looking and seeing like where your bank account's at and where your credit card's at. And I'm even holding my breath saying it because I know that feeling. But if you don't look at it and if you don't have any kind of awareness around it, you're going to create a story that will spiral you and you won't be able to do anything about it. So the first step is always awareness. And I'm going to offer you something that might be a little gift. Majority of the time, you're doing better than you think you are. Majority of the time. You just haven't looked at it. Yep. You've created this story of like lack and there's not enough.
Well, it goes back to what you said earlier, like the relationship you have with money. The relationship you have with money, like how do you feel about money? What do you think about money? How often are you looking at your money? And we're both of the same mindset that money and to be able to accumulate money and wealth for the future is a habit and it's a discipline muscle. If you're disciplined to paying yourself and you're disciplined to paying your future self on an every week, every month basis, that is a habit and that is a muscle that can be built.
Yep.
That is a muscle that can be formed just like you go to the gym. So regardless of the stories you may be telling yourself right now about how you're irresponsible with money or you can't save money or I'm never going to have enough money, these are all stories that maybe in the past could or may not even be true, but you have the ability to determine what your future looks like in the story that you tell yourself.
That's so good. Oh, I get so fired up about this because anyone can do this. This is 100% a discipline muscle that all you have to do is just start working that muscle.
So what do you do? So yeah, let's get into Money Mondays, like the muscle that you work every Monday.
All right.
Because you're the one that does
I'm
this.
about to flex. Oh, I love it.
At
so
least
much.
with a portion of it.
Yes. So I look at first thing is I look at all bank statements and I look at all credit card statements, and I do it every single Monday. What I'm looking for is I like to set goals. So I was like, we like to set goals. So we like to set financial goals. So when I'm looking at my bank account, I'm looking at where is it growing? Where are things going? And is there anything that I need to adjust? Where is it growing? Where is it going? And do I need to adjust anything? That's the bank account. And I'm looking at that every single week. The next thing I'm looking at is our credit card statements. I want to make sure that I am keeping an eye on expenses. That's business expenses and that's personal expenses. And I want to see, again, where is money in, money out? Where is this money going? And the biggest thing that I'm always looking for are sneaky charges. I want to see if any subscription that's coming up, anything that I'm paying for that I'm no longer using. Because again, if I'm in a relationship with money, I'm going to make sure that I am allocating funds on things that I want to be spending money on. If I'm not using it anymore, or if it's not bringing me joy or whatever, I need to get rid of it. So that's the other thing. So bank statements, credit card statements. Next, I invest every single Monday. So we invest in the stock market, and it is an uncomfortable amount. I will say it like that. And I want you to look at this, whatever percentage, when you sit down and you create a budget, that would be the first thing I would tell you to do, is to create a budget of this is where money in, money out, like where can we grow? Where is it going? And then anything that I need to pay attention to. So when you look at your budget and you get to the bottom and you're like, I have $100 left over. Okay. Can you invest that entire $100? Yes. Is it uncomfortable? Sure. I'm going to ask you to invest it.
Hell yeah.
Like, I'm going to ask you to invest it, even if it's uncomfortable. Get in that habit. So that's what we do. We invest an uncomfortable amount because for me, I know that my biggest weapon, the thing that I have on my side and the thing that you have on your side is time. I have compounding interest, baby. That is the sexiest thing on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm investing every single Monday into the stock market, an uncomfortable amount. I'm investing into the stock market because I'm hedging Michael's very risky investments.
Hey now. Hey now. Hey now.
Hey now.
All right. But we
done-
got time on our
We
side.
have time
So
on our side.
so we're investing. The stock market is an S&P 500 index fund.
Yep.
And then a couple individual companies within the stock market. So blue chip companies.
Yep.
Okay. And then we also have an allocation that goes into crypto where I daily cost average every single Monday into a couple risky, extremely volatile cryptocurrencies. Okay. They may have a Shiba Inu on them. All right. This is not financial advice.
Please do not take this as financial advice.
But-
The FTC.
all right.
We are
But with that, we also have our real estate. We also have permanent life insurance. We also have business. We also have ourselves. And when we say ourselves, that's broken into travel, education, and networking.
Yeah, I think that's one of the biggest things that you can invest in that's not a monetary or financial services product is yourself. And the networks and the connection that you will make will help your business grow. That'll help you grow personally. That'll help you grow professionally. That'll also introduce you to new ideas and new things that you can invest in monetarily. So different people working on different projects, starting different businesses, working in real estate, things like that.
And this has taken 15 years. Okay, this is when we very first started investing. I want to go back to like day one when I was like, it's not in the financial plan, Courtney. All right. We had Roth IRAs. And that is ultimately all we had at that point in time. And we were investing as much as we could, which wasn't very much, but it was something. Okay, it was like $50.
It was $50 a month
Yeah, $50 a month
per person.
per person.
That's exactly. So how it was broken up when we started dating, because we moved in together after 6 months of being together. But we were very concerned about our finances because we didn't have a lot. So one of the first things that we did was we set up a joint checking account. And we had a certain amount deposited directly into this joint checking account that went to pay all of our bills that we had set up in our budget. And then we also had accounts set up that they would pull directly from our paycheck into our investment accounts. Because for me, I needed the money to not be sitting in my bank account.
You just took the words out of my mouth. We set up an automatic investment plan to where every single month it would just automatically come out, just like a car payment, just like a truck payment, just like a house payment. Like you have to pay your bills or they're going to come and they're going to repo the car or they're going to kick you out of the house. You got to pay yourself. Like it needs to be on an automatic investment plan that it automatically comes out of your check every single week or month.
Yeah. And that's still how
it is.
That is still how it is. We still have it set up to directly deposit into our investment accounts.
Only it's every Monday. That's why we call it Money Monday, baby.
Baby. That EFT goes across, that electronic funds transfer, like let her rip, tater chip.
Yeah. And I also want to reiterate, the point here is not what are you investing in or what are we investing in? It's that you're investing in something that is going to pay your future self and set you up for wealth, set you up for success, give you the ability to walk away from your career or your business when you want to, not when you have to.
Yeah, I think this is so important, and I get really fired up when I hear people talking about, I can't do that, I can't afford that, I don't have the money for that, must be nice. Because to me, broke is a mindset. And that's why people who win the lottery are never wealthy. There's generational wealth does not come from winning the lottery because they don't have that muscle built. They don't have the discipline built. So this whole point is for us to light you up and say, I don't care if it's $5. I don't care if it's 50 cents. I don't care. Just start getting in the habit of investing in your future self. And you're going to say, I don't know what to invest in. Guess what? This is where you get to go find out what you want to invest in. This is where you get to go learn what excites you.
Yep.
What are you passionate about? Because if you constantly wait for somebody to tell you what to invest, how much to invest, and when to invest, that's their financial plan. What do you want as your financial plan?
Yep.
What do you want your future to look like? What do you want retirement to look like? Start asking those questions, and then start asking the question of, what do I need to do today? Even if it's uncomfortable. The surprising thing is how quickly you will adapt and how quickly you will be able to identify, this is excess and I don't need this because this is the bigger thing that I want. And this is coming from two people who very much have their cake and want to eat it too. Like, we are living life. We're not delaying our retirement. We are living life right now, but we're very strategic and intentional about, where does the energy of money go? What is it buying us? What is it buying us?
You get me fired up over here because I was going to revisit what you said earlier that I don't want to go overlooked is the point here is not to delay living life. It's to be able to do both. Have your cake and eat it too. That's why we said that ourselves, and we broke it down into travel, education, networking, because while travel isn't something that pays us from a monetary standpoint, it's something that fills our cup and allows us to meet new people, learn new things, get into new cultures, see new places, which is an expander for us. And as a creative, that is extremely important. And it's really what continues to elevate us as individuals and professionals. And then when you take that a step further, okay, travel, great. But when you invest in yourself from an education standpoint to skill up, that's the number one investment you will ever make. Like all these other investments, sure, stocks, crypto, real estate, like whatever, those are paying future self. Pay yourself now as well. Like invest in yourself, skill up so that you have the ability to be better at what you do every single day, which is going to allow you to make more money, which is going to allow you to invest more into your future self. And that's like, I don't want to overlook that because that is an extremely important investment that sometimes also gets put to the side.
Yeah, but I don't think we're not telling you anything that you don't already know, because if you're listening or if you're watching this podcast,
Fair.
you're already investing in yourself, and you're nodding and you're like, yeah, what we're saying is with every podcast, this podcast and every other podcast that you listen to with us, one of the biggest things that we want to make sure that you always understand is information is nothing without action. Like, you have to be willing to take action on the things that you learn, even if it's just one thing, because that is really how you start to empower yourself. That's really how you start to feel like, I'm capable. Regardless of what happens, I have the tools, I have the knowledge, I have the strength, I have the discipline to continue to move on, to continue to make choices that are in alignment for what I want. And I think that's what we're all trying to figure out. But I don't want that step to go unlooked. Like, that's this podcast and every single podcast is, we want you to take action on this.
Action, baby. Action.
Get into it and let us know how it goes. Because we want to cheer you on. Because I think when I look at the world and really the direction that we're headed and the next generations, let's start talking about this. Let's start talking about money. Let's start talking about financial empowerment. Like, let's start having conversations on what are we doing every single day to take care of ourselves, to where we're not constantly worried about money. We're not constantly stressed about that.
And money is the number one stressor. And stress is the number one killer. So you're stressed about money and then it kills you. Yeah. Like, it's the number one stress that causes so many situations, fights in relationships. Like, it's one thing that you have total control of. And so just like Courtney just said, take action. So we've talked about a lot today. So I want to revisit on some things that you can take action on.
Yay!
All right. So when's the last time you looked at your budget? When's the last time you printed out 3 months of your credit card statements, debit card statements, and you looked at, hey, what's my income? What are my expenses? What are those variables? What is that charge for $2.73 every single month or every single week? Like, what is that? So you could do that. That's something that we do every single week, every single month. Like, we're always looking at that. You could set up a habit like we have of a Money Monday, to where every single Monday your automatic investment plan is automatic investing into maybe your 401k, into your Roth IRA, into some type of vehicle that's going to pay your future self.
Yep.
Maybe you start looking at to get better at money. Maybe for 15 minutes every single day on the calendar, you're going to go watch a YouTube video on money, or maybe you follow somebody on Twitter, a money expert. Like, what are you doing to take action to actually implement and build that discipline muscle to pay your future self and also allow you to invest in yourself to gain more confidence when it comes to your relationship with money?
I would say one of the biggest action steps that you can do right now, aside from everything that you have just listed, obviously pick a day that you're going to look at it, look at where it's going, growing, and adjust. Set a financial goal. Set a financial goal for your accounts. Really decide, okay, if my checking account is $400, I have a goal to get it to $1,000. Or if my checking account is $500,000, I have a goal to get it to $1 million, or whatever that is. Because just like everything else in life, you have to be working towards something. And when you have a goal, it's easier to be disciplined. It's easier to stick to the plan when you know what you are working towards. So that would be the first thing that I would say after you review where your current situation is. Come up with a goal. Make a financial goal. And then gather all the information that you need. How am I going to hit this goal? And then start taking action on it.
With that being said, mic drop situation. I love that. So we would love to know your thoughts on today. We'd love to know what you're doing to pay your future self. We would love to know if you have something similar to a Money Monday. So make sure you text us 816-727-7610. Let us know what you're up to. Other than that,
I would like to share my favorite book about money.
Ooh.
Before we wrap up, because you're going to say, other than that, time is our most valuable and important asset. We appreciate you spending time with us. I'm going to give you a book. What? I'm going to give you a book.
What book?
Think and Grow Rich. Think and Grow Rich. Please read that book right now. Okay, go ahead and do your wrap.
No. That one's a really good one. And then I believe it's called Secrets of the Millionaire Mind by
T. Harv Eker.
Yep. Is that it?
That's it.
Boom. Those two books need to read right now. Purchase them right now.
You have the ability to change anything that you want to in life. That is the most beautiful thing about being a human being at any point in time. You get to decide what you want your life to look like. All you have to do is take action towards whatever it is that you want. We believe in you. We are cheering you on. Broke is a mindset. You are not a broke person. You are somebody that can make it happen. So with that being said, as always, time is our most valuable and important asset, and we appreciate you spending it with us.
Make it great.